Hi, you guys. You guys are so good to me. I just am amazed by you guys. Okay, I am live again because I want us to catch up on Libra season for entertainment purposes only. Catching up to Libra because it certainly came in with a ton of momentum and pandemonium. So let me get myself organized. Where is my thing? Okay, how are you guys? How are you? Good afternoon. Oh, Marjorie says, I saw, now a lot of people were talking about this last night, the movie Social Dilemma, and it was a great confirmation of the reading, but I think a lot of people were just kind of blown away as to what's really going on with these devices. Just as a matter of maintenance, something else you might want to consider is just completely turn off your device at least once every day, if not overnight, and as long as you can. Some of your apps, if you uninstall them, clear everything out, get all your old stuff out, clear your cache, and then reinstall them when you need them. That helps out a lot. And then if you need your app, for example, Instagram, I use that a lot with the kids' teams. But when I'm not uploading videos, I always turn off the microphone in the privacy settings because that really helps. But it's still, Instagram, Facebook owns that. In fact, there was an article, reputable person, I don't know, I can't remember who it was, but basically Facebook, am I buffering? I should turn this on, was caught watching users through their Instagram cameras. Isn't that nice? So, let's see. Oh, I forgot to put on my VPN. If you have a VPN, use that. Oh, I have to answer this really quickly. Can't, honey, I'm live. Okay. So I need to catch up on this Libra energy. It's driving everybody crazy. And the other thing is, it's really kind of hard to think. Whoops. Gosh, I'm so sorry. And the reason why our brains are so scrambled is because of this Mars retrograde. Real quick, this is the USA chart, and welcome new subscribers. You don't have to know astrology or the tarot. I try to tell the story, so if you have no background, it'll make sense anyways, but this is how my brain works. Okay, going back to the United States chart. This is the eastern horizon, sun rises, sun sets. Can no longer see the sun over here because it's on the other side of the world. So when the sun is in the sky, we can see these planets in the skies above us. Below us, we can't see them. We just came out of Virgo season, which is right over here in the USA chart, and it really activated this little crescent on the cross at 19 degrees, 28 minutes. That's the black moon Lilith. I've discovered this is related to women's rights. Watch it buffer when I say equality, ERA, civil rights. And I was out in the garden, so if I got dirt all over me, this was very active. Hi, Larry girl. Thanks for being here. So now the sun has moved now over the midheaven, over the highest point of the chart for the United States chart. Now we're in Libra season, and look at that. The top of the chart is 1 degrees Libra. I think the sun right now is about 2 or 3. So it has moved over into this 10th house, which just means this is kind of what is crowning Washington, D.C. What is it in the skies that everybody can see? Well, Libra has to do with the scales of justice. The justice card in the tarot. The balance of justice. Ruthie's service today, the first woman who spoke, about 10 minutes, phenomenal message about justice. Justice. Very moving. So this is what's in the skies above Washington, D.C. What about justice? What's beneath our feet, the gravitational pull, where our home is, where our hearth is, where our clan is, our people, our home, our ancestors, where we came from. In the United States chart, it's the sign of Aries, the revolutionary, the warrior, the optimist out on the frontier, settling the West. This is our heritage, being on the leading edge. The first one's this and that. Well, Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. In the USA chart, we have Mars over here in the space that has to do with our partnerships and our open adversaries. And like I explained in one of the last videos, because of its position to the sun, it's actually really, really, really super duper strong. And it is conjunct an area in the sign of Gemini that has to do with wars, generals, military. That's why we have so many open adversaries and we have so many allies that we partner with and we defend, because Mars is about defenses. This is why we're always in wars. That's just how it's going to be. That's just what it's about. That's just part of our blueprint. So Mars for us is about alliances and enemies. Beneath our feet, we're always having to defend home, defend the new, defend those who are in need of defense. So Mars right now, it's in its dominion in Aries, but it's gone retrograde. And usually a planet Mars orbits a planet for about 2 months. It's staying for like 9 months, okay? So it retrograded right about here at 28, and it'll go to 15. And then it goes forward around November 13th. It gets into the sign of Taurus, I think January 7th. So beneath our feet, oh my goodness, Marjorie, you are too much. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. So Mars is here, and it's going to stay here for a really, really, really long time. This is why we are having so much fighting on the ground, in our cities, on the ground. There's so many conflicts with fighting because we've got justice activated in the skies. And so this is the axis we are going to be on all fall long. Mars, it's very interesting what's going on because it's a male planet turned inward. The aggression, the warrior, the fight is no longer outward. It feels like it because of all these mind games, but it's actually turned inward. And Mars turned inward causes every single person, every individual who's a part of the clan, a part of home, that Mars energy turned inward into the head, the brain, because Aries rules the head and its contents. We're turning our gaze and information and thoughts into who we are individually and where we stand with our clan and what the heck is going on with justice. These are really big existential questions that are activated. The other thing is, when Mars is retrograde, what falls away are the things that, how they were propped up. It's kind of like we get to, because Mars can't be as aggressive, that aggressiveness we kind of got normalized, sensitized to, it falls away, and we see now behind the scenes, what were they doing? What were they aggressively pursuing? And you can see all the damage now that's been done. And we're all like, what is going on? Big questions. And the United States right here, this is the wound she has to heal. Aries is about the individual. Libra is about all of us, our relationship and our partnership. So this is a wound we are healing. It's been active a lot this summer because we've had the 14th Amendment reactivated, as well as the, civil laws, civil rights activated. This is going to be ongoing. So this is shaking up a lot of things beneath our feet. It's pretty revolutionary in nature. The thing is that the ruling planet on the ascendant, what gives us life as a nation, is the the great benefic Jupiter. Jupiter is the optimist. It expands things. It's miracles, healing, money, abundance. This happens between like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that season, 'tis the season, be merry. We're full of food and drink, visiting with people, hope and optimism. That's just the expansive big heart. So whatever we do in the US, we have this expansive sense about it. So Mars is going to be retrograde. It's going to keep pulling in this Jupiter. And in Sagittarius, this has to do with the law enforcement, philosophy. We're dealing with justice, who we are together, and this is going to be triggering this Lilith dark moon, everything related to the extreme, related to white, that, and how we've been gaslighted for so long that this is the enemy, that Lilith or people who are different are the enemy. We're coming to terms with that. Okay? So what's felt like pandemonium is the shift of the energy of Mars. Everyone is now, what we've put out there and observing, we're now observing within ourselves and in our home and our neighborhood, and what the heck people are doing and where do I stand with that. The second thing that is happening, because we just don't go into these lunations in isolation. They feed every lunation, new moon, quarter moon, full moon, third quarter moon. They feed each other and they feed the signs. So it's like the energies are always trickling in and staying, and they create and then they move on. So we had our Virgo new moon on Thursday, September 17th. The next day, Friday, the 18th, Ruthie passed away. We had the Libra Ingress, the first day of fall, on Tuesday. And then we just had the quarter moon in Libra Capricorn on Wednesday. I mean, that's a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. So it's like the energies keep resetting this rapidly within a 1 week span. So it's like we can't stay caught up on it. We can't stay up to speed with it. Everything is changing so fast, and it feels like it's changing fast under our feet because Mars went retrograde. I didn't even add that in there. That's a whole nother chart, okay? When we last left off the Virgo new moon before we went into the quarter moon, this is what the astrology said was breathing life over the skies of Washington, D.C. The Grand Cross Provoker. So there was an established plan before Ruthie left, before the first day of fall, before our lunation, that there was going to be a major, major provocation going. This was planned because the fool, the illegitimately elected FOTUS, is in trouble. But then we knew when we did this lunation that there was going to be a sacrifice, and unfortunately we found out it was Ruthie. But her story is not done yet. It is not done. Not done at all. This is the first day of fall, September 22nd, Tuesday. This sets the tone for the entire fall. This YOD, Y-O-D, also known as the finger of God, because when you have like a major, usually like in death charts, or like an act of W-A-R, there's a YOD pointing to the basis of it and the target. And so you'll have like a planet here, or they could be like the birth sun in a chart, if you're looking at two things, and they are joined by a very harmonious 60-degree angle. 60-degree angles, they're known as sextiles, and they take some work to activate, but once you get them going, you get the groove going. And then this is a 150-degree angle. It's an inconjunct. And then here is the thing that it's pointing to. This YOD is so active over these last week. So the Libra Ingress, there's a YOD, a finger of God, pointing to here. Venus, female, woman, money, gains, values. In the sign of Leo, leadership, life force. And over the skies of Washington, D.C., we have Vesta here. I'm not even going to talk about her because I messed it up last time. Basically in service of, if you want to think of like nuns serving the church. True service, Venus. Those are the long angles and how this is anchored. We have over here in this third house of communications, Capricorn represents the government. We have oppression, transformation, the law, expansive things, just to keep going on and be a jerk. And it's anchored over here by Neptune. Disillusionment, illusion, deception. It can also be creative vision. It can be healing. What is the word that I'm looking for? It's not illusory, but it's the opposite of illusionment. I can't think of what the word is. And it's in this area, the fifth house of the president. So using the law, gaslighting, making stuff up, deception, pointing at women, and service. This is active all fall. And money. Pisces is also this area of secrets and hidden enemies. And Donald's solar return, last June, his birthday, his moon was in Pisces as well as Mars was there. So his secrets are really, really active. Okay, so this is active all fall. On the ascendant here, all fall, 0 degrees Scorpio. It is ruled by Mars. Its classic ruler is the planet Mars. Mars is retrograde. Scorpio is already one that looks deep within. It's the detective. It unearths those things that are hidden. I've got a Scorpio Mercury, so I'm able to peer and look and think and see what's not there. And I know it's there and I can sniff it out. It's a fixed sign, so it's persistent. Ruled by Mars, it's active. So Mars rules the chart this fall in Washington, D.C. Life and death, transforming what's happening in Washington, D.C. I'll have you know that in the 2017 inauguration, I believe the moon was about 14 degrees Scorpio. So that's interesting. Mars is all the way over here in this area, the 6th house of public servants, military, investigation, day-to-day routine, cleaning house, doctors, healers. It is here. It's going to retrograde. It's going to stay here all fall. So our public servants, our military, our day-to-day operations is going to be going through upheaval, and it's going to be very active, and it's going to have a lot of reflection happening with it. In Aries, it's opposite the sun. So it's going to be that much more, I'm saying it feels kind of bipolar at times. You feel okay, you wake up during the day, you feel okay, and then everything goes to heck. And then later in the day, oh, we're okay. There's a lot of this teeter-totter back and forth going on with this. On top of it, it's in square to this stellium in Capricorn that's been giving us problems. This is why everybody hates 2020, because of all the big planets here that are rumbling and making changes. But this is what I really like about Mars and Aries. Mars represents the male. But it's like Venus, the divine feminine, has leverage over it. I'll tell you why. First of all, when it retrograded, it was trining the galactic center from last November 18th, which was really profound, the awakening of the divine feminine. In fact, the reading that I've pinned for returning viewers about It's Written in the Stars with Kamala, Mamala, am I going to buffer? That is when she came to prominence. I could trace her back to that moment. Here's the thing. Mars right now, it passed over Lilith. As it was applying to Lilith, women's rights, civil rights, as it was applying there, that's when Ruthie passed. That was the strike, the pain, the heartache we all felt. It's since passed. And the moment it passed, a lot of you were saying on Twitter, I feel great. I feel charged up. That was the relief. And now that is the benefit of Lilith having Mars at her back. No, it's moved into a place where it's supportive of that. But now it's applying to this planet Eris, E-R-I-S, which is Aries' sister, another female warrior. So think of Aries being the warrior, the god of war, his sister like that, but for women's issues, the female. So now we have the pain and we have the female. And now Mars is right in between, bookended by these phenomenal feminine warriors who have so much depth and power. And with Scorpio on the ascendant, integrity to do it right. Scorpio on the ascendant, she now has X-ray vision. People cannot get away with stuff. Are you noticing like how people are like, oh, well, what does that mean? What is that? There's a deepening, more intense questioning of what we're seeing. And our public servants are not going to be able to run and hide. This is active. So that's the power of Mars and the Libra Ingress and Libra. The sun has dominion and command of what happens this season. The sun in Libra, is ruled by Venus. Venus is orbiting so strongly, and she's at the tip of this spear, so to speak, of this yod. You think the divine feminine is awake? She's marching, you guys. She is marching with all her girlfriends. They're summoning the squad. All fall. So that's related to the intensity and the call. When we left off with the quarter moon last, what did I do with it? It was right. Last September 17th, the Provoker, still active into the Libra Ingress and the quarter moon. The other thing we saw happen at this new moon, which was really peculiar, because if you see these arrows, this was like a new pattern, because what we had been seeing was like lands far away, Putin's area, handing something off secret for Donald communicating, handing off something secret in messages, handing that off to maybe someone in his cabinet, handing that off maybe to a secret partner, who then pans it back off to Donald. That we were seeing movement between these areas like this. The last lunation, the Virgo new moon, the movement just started going this way. We've got this area is communicating with this area. This area is reciprocating and going back to this area. And then there was some here, but it was like the activity stopped with these guys sharing stuff. And it went more into a mode of the elements. Water, sensing, air, communicating, fire, desire. Now having to communicate in other ways with one another. Okay? And then another thing that was new that we saw. So if this area is a space of income gains and values, it's the second area, the second house. The astrology was now reaffirming that with its own card saying how strong this was. So it was like the income is standing on its own. Nothing is feeding it to be handed off somewhere else. We're just going to stand here and act like we don't know anybody. Like things are staying in their own places. Like this is the 5th and the 11th house axis. Well, the 11th house with the yod said, look to the 5th house. Okay, well, the 5th house said, look to the tip of the yod. That's in the 11th house. So there's this back and forth, almost like there's a more isolation on the executive offices in DC. Being more isolated, firming up these areas. There's not a lot of activity going on, okay? I need to get a drink and check in with you guys real quick. How are you guys doing? Oh, yes, thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you. Yes, GM Dave, absolutely. Covert action. That is it. Thank you. Okay, have a great Aloha Friday, Larry. Women's March, October 17th. I did not know that. Okay, in my Twitter, I had also mentioned probably like 10 days I have my eyes on that are difficult days. Right now, let me see where the sun is right now. The sun right now is 3 degrees Libra. The December 26th new moon solar eclipse that was like on Christmas was 4 degrees Capricorn. It activates those eclipses again more intensely starting tomorrow. and then everything else that goes with it. Okay. Okay, I gotta sit down. I'm tired. Okay. So, this is very interesting. This is the Libra Capricorn first quarter moon we had on Wednesday, September 23rd at 9:54 p.m. On the ascendant, 5 degrees Gemini. My mouth dropped. Wide open. I had to pick it up off the floor. Because at 5 degrees Gemini, in Ruthie's chart, she has Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, women's rights. That is conjunct the ascendant. The thing giving life to Washington, D.C. this week that's going to activate the December 26th eclipse tomorrow. Her, through rectification, I think this is what her chart is. Her Lilith, this is the second house cusp of values, is exactly conjunct the second house, meaning that's the most powerful place to have one's values seated. The second house of income gains, money. Her whole life, how she expresses love and gives. She reckoned her dissents, her opinions, communication, Gemini, were a blueprint for the future. Not necessarily fighting for something, having that compassion to know that I'm giving you a blueprint on where we're going to go, step by little step. That is active here. Keep your eye on this north node, the new moon eclipse energy. It's going to be active. It is now at 23 degrees, 56 minutes. It goes backwards. Donald's sun is 22 degrees, I think 54 minutes. This rolls into 22 degrees and sits on his sun. Major, major, major things develop. I don't know what they are. Let me get my ephemeris. That north node moves over his sun. Let me give you a date. About October 2nd. Thursday, October 1st to Friday, October, in a week, okay? And, you guys, listen to this. On the day Mars is going to be, Mars is going to be 24 degrees Aries. If you guys have been following me long enough, you know that 24 should be triggering the can opener eclipse. What did I say? That was from July 19th, 2019. And this can opener eclipse is the thing that finally opened up the door, put in the doorstop, so we could look at Don Julio's money. Now remember, this YOD is active. Where's that YOD? It is active. Is this it? No, what happened? Oh. This YOD, all Libra, is pointing to Venus. So we've got the can opener eclipse. We've got the YOD in the heavens, which actually splits. This point I said was 19 degrees on September 17th. Splits Don Julio's power planets of Mars and Pluto. You know, his weird obsessions, aggression, gross Don Julio-ness. but Mars is retrograde, so it's not going to be able to defend the destruction it does. I would count on some serious money, more money news creeping in October 1st, 2nd. Something's happening. Now, from that the Libra Ingress, we have Scorpio on the ascendant, ruled by Mars. This quarter moon, this Scorpio now is intercepted in the house of public servants, military, all that stuff. So he's going to get a North Node strike, and this is going to be hovering over the public servants, military, day-to-day health is not going to get a break. It's going to be drilling down. Boy, I did not expect that. Yay, can opener, Larry girl. No, Roxanne, this ephemeris is only 100 years. I got the noon edition because it calculates the moon during the noon hour. Canned soup terrorists. That's right, Roxanne. Soup. Cans of soup. Okay, so, oh my gosh. I'm freaking out. Stay together. So, on the ascendant, we have Mercury, rules, communications, thinking, reasoning, electronics. Mercury is where? Oh, it's over here in the 6th house of service. This cabinet, they're in so much trouble. What's crowning Washington, D.C., that midheaven, the top of the chart? Holy crap. 12 degrees Aquarius. You know what we get? Uranus is active. It was already active because it's disposited by Venus. Venus is active all season. Sudden, shocking information, news. This is news, innovation. Maybe I'm going with hacking. I'm going with computer hacking, voter databases. The whole thing, the whole shock. This is massively huge. Where is it in the chart? Oh, and Uranus is in this area of secrets. Something that's been tried to be held secret is going to get blown open. Mars is irritated here, and it's wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, stand task. And now, the yod is pointing down at home. Karma, ancestors, family, kids of the sun, a daughter maybe of the Photis. And look at all those who were sacrificed. Deep, deep, down deep in the 4th house of home and defense. Whoa. On the ascendant, we have the sun, which is the Photis, and the 1st house, the body. Something going on with the physical body. This is what's giving life to this chart. Photis has to be on the stage. You have sun, and look to the 1st house. Me, 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 me. The sun is here in the 5th. That's the Photis. Okay. Look at Venus is right behind him. There's all that money. So, okay, where does this go? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so these go here. So in the 1st house of self, identity, water element, sensing. He's isolated, you guys. This comes back to him and his gut feeling, relying on his gut. This is also kind of the AI surveillance, getting information about the mood, maybe polling. So in this 1st house, we have water. Emotional sensing, whiny, crying. The area of secrets, 12th house escape. I don't want anyone to see what's going on in my area of secrets, which reinforces the 12th house is now kind of isolated. We've got the life of the chart isolated. We've got this 12th house of secrets isolated. Hidden enemies, the Mercury. The secrets about who he is, what he's done, and public servants, what he's done with the military, our healthcare, our agencies, investigations, day-to-day activities. That's the hidden enemy. In the area of hopes, wishes, friends, over Washington, D.C., innovation, science, Chiron, healing the wound that nobody likes me. I'm going to force you to like me with Chiron, which is right here. This is reinforcing this 11th house. Look to here, and the wound, right here we have to heal. In the RBG video I did, Ruthie, waiting for the buffer. 7 Aries, the wound that has to be healed, I think that's her Mercury. Her words, her thoughts, her reasoning, the wound we carry as a nation, women's rights, defending the female, a healing over Washington, D.C. It's being led by Neptune here, which can be confusion and deception, trying to manipulate this that we are trying to heal. Egg it on or isolate it. What's crowning Washington, D.C.? Aries. I'm going to fight. You think? Well, the people, remember, Aries is ruled by Mars. Who has leverage over Mars? Eris, the sister to Aries, and Black Moon Lilith, women's rights. That's crowning Washington, D.C. So there's going to be a lot of exploitation going on and provoking going on. And that's going to build as we get to that October 1st and 2nd. We have the asteroid series here, and this is how we are nurtured, how we're fed. In this area, lands far away, I often call it Putin's house, faraway places. Did I say solar eclipse? Okay, that is confirmation of that. That would be the solar eclipse from December 26, 2019 is where this thing got started. Remember what ushered in at the beginning of the new year? Two big things happened in lands far away. This guy, that guy was and then we had USA bases were accidentally, attacked. And then this thing took off with a lot of people on it. It was a U airliner. Remember that? So that stuff is going to come back. Sorry, I get buffered way too much. We had a new moon eclipse on the first day of summer. And that was after all the protests provoked by the killing of George. That's lands far away. It's interesting that that would be tied to George. Huh. This area, the 8th house, the moon is there. That has to do with taboo things, life and death, other people's money, shared resources, criminality. Ooh, the truth. The truth shall set you free. We have Saturn there. The truth, and the moon being in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. Pallas Athena in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. Jupiter, the law enforcement, ruled by Saturn. Lots is going to come out about that. This area, partnerships, open adversaries. Earth element stability. That is interesting. We're going to have some stability here with our partners. It won't be so crazy pandemonium in our heads. Like the communications and stuff will calm. The justice and stuff will calm. Now, a lot of activity going on over here with the 6th house. The lunar eclipse, you guys. That's the full moon eclipse. Holy cow. So we're going to start off. This gets activated from December 26th. The eclipse that followed this, you should all know, the January 10th full moon eclipse. 2 days later, this Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see what's going on here? And there's a big fat yod right here pointing to the defense of Photis. Okay. 5th house of the sun. It's right there. Look to the messages. Now, here we have something that is communicating with another house. The 3rd house. This 3rd house messages shows up all the time. Oh, there's the Uranian planet Volcanos. Think of explosive mountain of stuff. A lot of energy behind that. And 3rd house messages, the ruler on the ascendant rules the 3rd house. So he's on his own with his messages. His secrets, don't look, don't look, don't look. I do have all these secrets. There's a mountain of secrets, and it's explosive. 4th house of defenses, there's Venus. The moon, the soul. The moon has dominion over this house. The moon represents the people. Don Julio was born under an eclipse, and we have a lot of eclipse stuff happening here. The moon has to do with our stability. Remember, it governs over our season. It governs over the tides of the ocean. It has everything with regulating everything out there. So it's going to be emotional. Maybe some more stability and regulation going on. 3rd house of communications, siblings. Void of course moon. It is missing. This is isolation, but it's also, still figuring this out, has to do with plans that were made, but it's also not being able to get something in motion, kind of being stuck. Because when a moon is void of course, it just means if you see all these pieces of the pie, when a moon goes through a sign, like let's say this is 30 degrees, as it goes further and further and further, as it gets to the end of this sign, if there are no other planets to play tag with, to aspect, it's void of course. It has no more mojo. So void of course moon is also kind of a time out. It's a time to meditate. It's a time to reflect. And the third house, communication. So there might be kind of a stalling. Maybe we're getting more information, kind of being held up, but there's some stalling because either there's a glitch or the opposition can't get it moving the direction they want it to go. So void, of course. Something is missing with messages and communications, Donald's secrets. And the second house of income gain. Oh, really? Income gains? Your income comes from the ninth house? The ninth house, that's Putin's house. That is lands way far away. The income and gains, money and information from overseas. That is going to be clicked by the solar eclipses we had on December 26th and the first day of summer. There's others, but those have the most juice. So this is just our quarter moon. So we've had this crazy week of a lot of things changing, but this is the tone that is set for the next week. Just a second, I have got to turn off my washer timer. So how are you guys doing? Do you feel like you're getting a grasp on what's been behind all of this pandemonium and all the energies we went through, what we're going through? Can you kind of anticipate what's ahead for us? I'll get the tarot cards out, but this is why it's been so scary. And on top of it, this is the first Libra or Virgo and Libra lunations we've had since the Saturn Pluto conjunction. So multiply that by a ton of upheaval. Okay. How are we going? I'm getting weird stuff showing here. Okay. Exactly, T-Barb. Ignore the crap. There's a lot of it out there. That's all they have to run on. So you guys, this is absolutely turned into 2020's tarot deck. It's been so crazy. I've started writing notes on key things that stand out to me. And it's like this deck loves telling the story. Usually my other decks start feeling really, really gross, where I've had to go through and get a new deck. This one has withstood the test of time. It's like here for the long haul. I love it. Hi, Terry. Hey, GM Dave. It's so bad what they're doing. But they're going to run out of mojo. The Mars retrograde, this is such a good time for us to be having it. Okay, Tarot. So, Tarot, we want to know what else is going on at this lunation. It's like, well, let me tell you, this is good stuff. It's like, wow. My cards are so excited. Okay, whoops. Ooh, that just fell out. Hello. Is this charity or pretend charity? There's also some social justice in here. Benefits. I'm going to put that on the ascendant. It could also be money laundering. Okay, so Tarot. So we know this week there's a lot of water and sensing. Oh, with the Six Wands mob. Hey, you guys, thanks for giving me the heads up. Having that Six Wands mob verified by House of Lenormand. This card I've had, I think, since like May 2019, which I call it, it's the Six of Wands, but I call it the Six Wands mob because it represents the players behind the scenes that are making life awful, like Trump, Putin, Un, G, Netanyahu, MBS, MBZ, all of them. I think we can add North Korea, I think we can add Turkey in here, and it now looks like Iran. I wonder how much I'm going to buffer, is in the mix because, you know, KJU is gone. Guys, he's gone. They have no use. But his sister, KY Jelly, her initials are KYJ. I call her KY Jelly. Only thing I can remember. Still very active behind the scenes with the hacking away. Okay, so this first house of self, we've got the North Node. Oh, there's a solar eclipse. Over Washington, D.C. What is this about? It doesn't feel right. Ooh. Oh. An ending of some sorts. That card is the card that Don Julio identified when it comes to on the U.S. That's his signifier. So that is really, really, really active. That is really interesting. It's active on many levels. This is the ascendant. Put this over here. What's your secret? Endings. Endings or what? Ooh, Sword of Truth is coming out with stub. Gosh, I hope that's Facebook. Fighting back. Secret is, hopefully it just means that he knows it's the end. The hidden enemy. Angry Putin. This has also been Xi, MBS, Semyon. 11th house, hopes, wishes, friends. We've got Chiron, the healing there. Digital armies, intelligence agencies. Aggression, hostility, impulsive charging forth. I'm getting the word premature. Premature. To set off a spark. Maybe that's related to that. What's crowning Washington, D.C. through this lunation? Come on, hands. There we go. This is Russia plus China plus a little NK, mostly China. 5 of Cups, also a lot of disappointment. Lands far away. This could be Bill behind bars, the Mueller unredactions, courts, also an Intel op hack. You know who came up with this recently was Brad Parr Scale. Secret talks, hidden money, secret contracts. Solar eclipse coming to light. Shared resources. This says the truth is coming out. What's that about? Theft. Stealing. Open adversary. We the people. Partnerships. A little more stability. Oh, goodness. So these are the mafiosos that, you know, are on the ground here. It can be from a variety of countries, whether it's the Middle East or Asia. Stability. This could also be protesting, stabilizing. It also has to do with profiting off of others and spite. 6th house, public servants, timing. Timing and this lunar eclipse, fortune, misfortune, what goes up, what comes down. A turning point, hopefully. 5th house of the sun with messaging, we have everything that was transmitted overseas, taken, transmitted overseas, electronically, and it can literally be people at a border. 4th house, defenses. Our clan, what we're doing here. Queen of Swords, this could be the courts. KY jelly. The YOD is pointing right at the Venus here. The courts. Who's this about? Sanctioning, separating. Someone got caught howling outrage with China. If it's our courts, it has to do with the family. If it has to do with sanctions and avoiding sanctions to pay others. It can also be voter rolls, separating voters, figuring which ones you don't want. More information coming to light about that. 3rd house, communication. So this is void of course. There's a snag. There's something not normal. The office of the President of the United States. Yeah, there's something missing related to that. Communications. It could be mail because Gemini definitely has to do with that. What's missing here with the FOTUS? Votes. Where'd it go? That's an op by these people over here. Something's missing. Something just is not right. It could be that, or it could be also related to cerveza virus. There's that thing mutating over 5,000 times. How can it not be a... How can it not be that? I'll throw that away. Man. 2nd house, income gains. What's going over Washington, D.C.? We have a separation from the money. This is not shared money, like you own something together or a debt. This is your income. These are your gains. These are your values. This was a card that speaker drew on her birthday this year, what she wanted to, this could be also be impeach or trying to separate them from making that vote. That's over Washington, D.C. this week. So things are going to calm down. Things have been, yes, totally crazy. Let me write these down. Does this all make sense, you guys? Water, we have the world. Good, 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 good. This is the star. So that's it for our horoscope. Do you guys got any questions? I can throw some cards. Let me get this written down. Transmitting 3rd house. I'm missing this. I forgot what card went there. I'll watch the video. What went there? Okay. Gosh, look at all these swords. Sword, 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 sword. That's screaming King of Swords. Intelligence. Pentacles. Dark money. Knight of Swords. And the King of Wands. Okay. You wonder what? How the booze registered on the polls. I don't understand that. Okay, not now. What was it, 9:30 a.m.? Am I still muffled? Okay. Any political questions? Let me see what's I have not even checked into the Twitter machine yet. Okay, well, so I'm standing closer. That helps. Oh, what about the Real Clear Politics last night? A question about that? What's the question about that? That was crazy. Okay, so essentially, you guys, in the polling, if it says Biden is up by 6 points day to day to day to day, know that things are not stagnant. There's a lot of manipulating going on behind the scenes that they don't want you to see, because they try get everything to equal to zero, the individual gains or losses, so that if when you add them up together, you keep getting the same differential every single day. So do not be complacent at all. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. Oh, when he got moved. Yeah, tell me that. Okay, let's do that. Let's get the Crow Tarot. Because the Crow Tarot sees all. The Crow Tarot. Judgment. People were judging him. He knows it. So yesterday he showed up, or was it today? I think it was yesterday. He showed up while she was in repose, wearing a mask. I mean, that neck looks 10 times huger in the mask. And people started screaming. You could hear their wailing pain. And once again, being in the bubble and out of touch, totally clueless as to why or how bad it is with people screaming and boo. Something has to be reversed here. He was trying not to cry, you guys. I swear he was trying not to cry. And just so angry. Show me Don Julio. Reactions. Being booed. Because the thing is, though, this is when he decides to retaliate. Booed. Justice. How about that? Justice Ginsburg's memorial for justice. Him being booed. It's covering him being booed. He was there. He was there representing the emperor. He sees himself as the emperor, but the emperor card for me is actually him at the behest of Pootie. Donald's challenge, hearing those boos. Oh boy. So the 10 Pentacles is the dynasty. His ego, his dynasty, his ego, his worth, his total worth as an emperor, reversed So he knows that's shattered. And that's his challenge, trying to come to grips with that. His value of his family shattered. What's at the basis of his emotions for how he took that booing? He wanted to get the F out of there ASAP. Get me out of here. I'm terrified. The Chariot also has to do with defense. How am I going to get me out of here? What's crowning him and what he was thinking? The Four of Cups. He wants to leave, but he is forced to stand there with all of his emotions humiliated, trying to take it all in. He was frozen. He couldn't do anything, hiding behind the pillar. This depression, this sadness. I'm stuck here. In the past, he could always blend this back and forth, always really lucky, and deal with these things because he's in a freaking bubble and manipulate it. What is this leading to? Him being booed. He wanted to be strong. I'm going to be strong. He's going to show his might. I'm going to hang on to this card. How do we see him? Getting booed. Page of Wands. News. Traveled around the world. Oh, here come the ops. The environment. He got caught. He's got a new perspective. He wants to fight back, that Ace of Wands, but those were also the people howling at him. The fear, the Queen of Wands. You know, this is the COUP. It's also Kamala and women in general. His next steps, the Ten of Swords. This is what he wants to retaliate. Final outcome, Two of Cups. So he's making an agreement because what happened, he's the Sun. He's got the Page of Pentacles, votes and information. So okay. So this Strength card, this is what he's going to do. So he was booed, and this is what he's going to do about it. These are the three things that's going to happen as a result of that total humiliation and wanting to flee. Because, you know, he's got to hit back harder. How you guys doing? What are the three things? Three things that he's going to do because of what happened. He didn't go today, thank goodness. This is the retaliation. Digital armies, Knight of Swords, defend impulsively. So the three things he's going to do. As retaliation, we've got the Moon. He's going to enlist China because of the outrage, his hurt feelings. Wow, that was devastating. The basis of this, that's an assault. That's an attack. Digital attack, formulating a new plan to retaliate electronically. And guess who's going to do it? The King of Cups. Also, this is Biden supporters. Joe Biden. It's also Vlad. Because he gives so much to Don Julio. He was embarrassed because he saw that. That was the most embarrassing thing. That the people of the U.S. dare have a voice to speak out. That a democracy dare exist. And Ruthie's she's in repose at the point during then. The second thing he's planning. Me. Nine of Swords. Gonna cause a big nightmare. Gonna cause anxiety and panic. Because I am so heartbroken and devastated and hurty. I'm gonna inflict that back now on everyone. This is the Nine of Wands. Live another day, fight another day. Here we go. I'm gonna send out my pages, the social media. I'm gonna make it really scary for you, boots on the ground. Last weekend, it was the MAGA's blocking polling stations. Expect more of this kind of stuff this weekend. Crowning the Five of Wands and fighting. That, we're going to see more of that. We are going to see a lot more of that. The final outcome. The World, an ending. That was here. This is so this is the plan, the World. Transfer the Emperor, Don Julio, manipulating, creating something new. The King of Pentacles as him, as candidate Donald, more money. Oh God, I hope. The Knight of Wands. The cabinet is on it. I sure hope the FBI is. So that's what's going to happen. More. But things are going to stabilize. Okay? So I think that's it, you guys. I feel caught up now with fall. This has been a rough week and kind of crazy, but things are going to settle down now a little bit more. It's going to get a little crazy here, though, when the moon goes into Aquarius and goes over the midheaven. That's when we're going to expect some shocking things happening on many levels. So stay safe. Wear a mask. Be good to you. Take a break. Don't give in to the fear. It's all designed to get you to not go somewhere on November 3rd. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and Aloha Friday. Thanks. Okay.